really. And Grubby with a pretty sizable army here. Looks like he might be going in for some sort of attack just at this point. Also has one peon just protecting here. Obviously wants to know when it's being crept, just so he can come in for the creep jack. This is such a great place to go to creep jack because it's really powerful creeps, and there's only one exit, so you can really get stuck, and it's really you definitely force a TP if you get creep jack there. And meanwhile, Moon actually at the healing fountain. This probably isn't a fight Grubby wants to take, although he does want to take a fight. Moon doing a very good job of just staying in an advantageous position. And making sure that Grubby is he's in a position that Grubby won't want to fight him, and Moon getting a detonate there off on a wisp that was just lingering about. Obviously Moon making very good use of his wisps even at this point, and Moon moving a bit out of position at this point. Actually, this isn't a great position for him because he doesn't really have any protection, and Grubby's unit's a bit late to come in, but still getting a lot of damage. One raider has already gone down, and Cyclone obviously on the Tauren Chieftain, but he has already cast his one shockwave really, and he doesn't have enough mana for another one, and so the Demon Hunter will probably come back to him before he gets enough mana for a second shockwave. And meanwhile, the Blade Master is just picking off units with a couple raiders as well. But Moon has actually played this quite nicely, but I think he will have to move away now just because of all the units coming in. Considering his positioning, Moon actually played this very well, but I think he just doesn't have Grubby just doesn't have any lone units to be focused down now. Obviously this one Spirit Walker does go down, but even though it's in ethereal form, so that cost Moon a mana burn just to do that. And meanwhile, the Tauren Chieftain pretty low mana at this point, but obviously the Grubby's heroes both still quite high hit points, because it's not really worth it trying to focus down the heroes. It's much better to focus down things like raiders, because well, for start you always want to focus down raiders just because they're so powerful. If you need to run away from a fight, you really don't want them to have them late game. And nice use of Pocket Factor here as well. You can see it's managing to do a lot of damage to the raiders and stuff, but the Beastmaster has been ensnared and surrounded. It does have a TP, so it could manage to use it, and Grubby pops a heal scroll. Actually, I'm not sure that heal scroll was strictly necessary, but he looks like Moon will manage to get away with a fair few units considering his bad positioning. I think that's actually that battle went pretty well for him, all things considered. And Grubby left with let's just check the food counts here. 58 food for Grubby, and Moon with 40 food. Obviously a big discrepancy there, so that's pretty nice for Grubby, but Moon with not only the tech advantage, actually Moon being a bit careless here, not producing from his second Agent of Wind. He had two stacked up at this one, obviously he now doesn't, but so this is going pretty well for Grubby, all things considered. Obviously Secret Valley very much an orc map because of those healing fountains, but certainly elves have a lot of opportunities on them. It's also hard for elves to sneak an expansion on this map, which Moon is sort of especially good at doing. But Grubby now shopping. I imagine he's going to buy heal scrolls just because heal scrolls come out of Spirit Link is so powerful, and maybe Moon will know he's in a bit of a bad position here, and we'll bring in some wisps or something, just get a couple detonates off. Obviously that's a very short-term answer, but it can keep you in the game if you can dispel all your Spirit Links and drain some mana off all their Spirit Walkers and stuff as well. And you do have to get a bit lucky that they don't get focused down, but obviously even that, it's quite nice to force your opponent to attack other things here. And Moon doing some sneaky creeping here, but meanwhile Grubby coming in just for a base race, and Grubby does have 6 raiders, and so Moon is forced to TP in as well again, and so this is sort of very good for Grubby because he has wasted 2 of Moon's TPs in a short period of time. But Grubby being a bit careless here and actually getting 2 raider cyclone, and dispelling that cyclone, and Moon not recycloning, so a bit of a shame there for Moon. I think he could have probably got that, and I wonder if Grubby's now going to go creep this camp here. This could be a pretty good one for him to creep, and he knows that Moon's going to be trying to stay away from it if at all possible. And meanwhile this one wisp getting attacked by this trapper, but it looks like it will get away. Obviously this would be a very good camp for Grubby to expand if he wanted to, and so it's quite wise for Moon just to keep a scout there, because when you're in a dominant position you do want to get an expansion. So Moon does know that Grubby's might be looking for an expansion, and Grubby is sort of does fairly consistently go for expansions, but doesn't really have the gold or the lumber for one at this point, and continuing to build raiders, but at 64 food, so he's going to be mining less gold, and the longer Moon can force this out, the longer he's going to do well, because he is at 50 food now, and first Fairy Dragon out for Moon now as well, and Fairy Dragon is just so powerful. I think it's always wise just to get at least one when you have 50 food worth of dots. And looks like that we might see another fight here. Grubby rebuilding a Voodoo Lounge in another aggressive position. I think this is better timing for one now actually, and Beastmaster getting a bit caught out, getting ensnared, and Grubby will probably keep on ensnaring it for as long as possible so that it can't be staffed out, although there is a staff on the Beastmaster and much of the staff is anywhere else, and it looks like Moon will have to TP out again. So very nice play here by Grubby, very nice map awareness, and he will manage to kill this Pocket Factory for a small amount of extra experience, and almost level 4 on both Grubby's heroes now. Meanwhile Moon significantly less experience, I think. But this one Fairy Dragon, I'm not sure where it's going. It looks like it's turning back now. The Demon Hunter 3, and then I imagine 2 2, yeah, 2 2, yeah, that's Obviously, 2 is much inferior to 3, just because you don't have any level 2 skills yet, and level 2 skills are vastly superior to level 1 skills. And meanwhile, Grubby looks like he has a lot of food. Yeah, 70 possible food, and 66 food of that, and first Bat Rider as well. I'm not really sure why orcs always really build Bat Riders. Obviously, they're effective against fairy dragons if you can catch them out, but a player like Moon, it's really unlikely that you're ever going to catch him out. I might be proved wrong now, but oh yep, I am. Look at me, I'm stupid. I can't believe Moon actually didn't get that. But Grubby actually getting a bit caught creeping here, but obviously he's pulling it out so that he doesn't get trapped in that up the ramp. But still not very good for him. I can't believe Moon actually got caught out by that. Pros never get caught out by Bat Riders these days, but I guess he might have been doing something else at the time. And it looks like Grubby's going to go for an early Shockwave just so he can't get mana burn too early, and he is mana burn then after. But I'm not sure if they're going to try and steal off these creeps. No, it looks like Grubby's going to come in, and so Moon's not going to be able to steal off any creeps, and he is just going to go for a bit of an attack here. But the creeps are just coming back. They keep on coming back and are attacking Moon's pocket factory here. So that's not great for him, but Grubby just being forced to stay back a bit because Moon is just managing to get a bit of a cyclone wall up whenever Grubby moves in, and Grubby retaliating by just going by ensnaring one out of position dot and killing it immediately, and getting level 4 on his actually both his heroes now, and getting both his heroes cycling though as well, and Moon in a bit of a bad position here, being forced to keep on running back, and obviously you just want to focus down their units and then run back a bit, and another fairy dragon out, or 2 fairy dragons out here for Moon, and I'm surprised he hasn't put them into form. There we go there, and meanwhile Moon actually playing quite well in here in terms of just keeping his dots out of the range of the raiders, and you can see the raiders here are actually stacked up a bit and all being forced to attack, or sort of being forced to run around a bit just to get their attacks. But Grubby does still have a lot of Spirit Walkers out, and these are really good to stack up the damage. Obviously they don't do extra damage or anything to dots, but it's still a fair bit of damage that they do. And meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain is almost is significantly above level 4 now, as is the Blade Master, and if Grubby were to get level 5, it would pretty much be game over, I imagine, because Moon really is stuffed with his heroes now, and obviously as a elf you don't really need much more than your heroes, just because you can do a lot of damage with them and then bring in more dots later, because dots build so quickly. But I think when you're facing an army of this size, there's really, even your heroes can't win this for you.